Spencer Critchley. He's a Democratic strategist. Thank you very much for talking to us. How damaging has all of this been to the Democratic Party?
Well, everybody has seen, the turmoil on full display for the past few weeks. But I actually think that what we've witnessed is both a strength and a weakness of the Democratic Party, in contrast to the Republican Party, which now lines up behind Donald Trump, seemingly no matter what he does, including trying to overthrow democracy itself. The Democratic Party is still willing to act in a democratic way with a small d, and act in ultimately the best interest, not just of one person, not just of the party, but really ultimately of the country, because that is what's driving the sense of urgency among Democrats in this election campaign. The choice between an America that continues as a liberal democracy or an America that heads down the dark road towards authoritarianism.
Do you think behind the scenes the Democratic Party was expecting this? It perhaps isn't going to come as a huge shock to the system behind the scenes in terms of getting everything up and running ahead of November?
I think there are many people who are not surprised that this happened, but in fact, based on the reporting that I've seen, for example, in Politico by very well-sourced reporters just today, they're reporting that President Biden himself had not made a decision until the end of Saturday night, as in last night here in the United States. And it came as the announcement today came as a complete shock, except for to a very small number of campaign insiders and close associates of President Biden. Apparently, according to this reporting, it took some new information about the state of the race to finally push President Biden into making this final decision. The reporters reporting this are generally, as I say, very well sourced and trustworthy. So that seems to be the story as we understand it, at least for now.
A number of high-profile Democrats have come out and backed Harris. It looks like it probably will be the vice president who will be the nominee. How popular is Kamala Harris, particularly in those key swing states?
Her popularity seems to have been growing in recent days and weeks and months, actually. She's been very active on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration, and it's not uncommon to see glowing reviews of the appearances she's been making. In many ways, I think this is a return to form for her. She did have a rough first couple of years as vice president. Early on, she had some staffing turnover, which did not look good, and occasionally her public persona seemed surprisingly studied in a way that Hillary Clinton has often been criticized for. And in both cases, people who know both of these people personally say they're very warm and authentic in person, but sometimes their political personas can come across as I say, overly studied. And Kamala Harris had seemed so effective and personally effective during her time as a senator, and before that as Attorney General of California and District Attorney in San Francisco. So the fact that she appears to be finding her stride now on the campaign trail, as I say, looks like a return to form.
Okay, Spencer, thank you very much. Spencer Critchley there in California. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but thank you very much for your insight and your thoughts on this developing story here on TRT World. We will